For most of the American country, winter is still prevalent. Each year I have slowly been getting drier and drier during the winter season. This video is entitled, It Depends on Who You Ask. Is Vaseline bad for the skin? There was a huge media push about 10 years ago of dermatologists telling people not to use Vaseline on their skin or petroleum jelly. I'm not trying to endorse any particular product. I'm just using Vaseline as a colloquial term for petroleum jelly, because petroleum jelly is a very long and difficult word to say. For that joke, please like and subscribe. Now, what did they say? It clogs the pores. It collects dirt on the skin. It can cause hair loss. And definitely don't use it in your nether regions. Give me a thumbs up for the word nether regions. So for about 10 years, I stopped using Vaseline. Last winter, I asked my mother how I could cure my dry skin. She said, Vaseline. I just thought she was just ignorant and didn't know what she was talking about. She said, we black folk have been using Vaseline for about 100 years, and it never did anything to us. Unconvinced, I ignored her. But my skin was dry, and my lips were cracked and bleeding. I even had a white friend of mine look at me and said, dude, your lips. I don't mean to be sus, but your lips, you need to do something about those, because you look like you're about to blow away, like you're drying up and blowing away. Then I came across another dermatologist saying to use Vaseline. Then I watched her video. She said, in winter, the dry air robs the skin of moisture. By using Vaseline, petroleum jelly, what have you, it seals the moisture in the skin and prevents the air from drying out the skin. Then I recalled survivalists saying that in harsh winter, put a coat of Vaseline on any exposed skin to protect it from freezing. So finally, I listened. I slathered on Vaseline all over my horrible skin, and let me tell you, it was horrible. 24 hours later, my skin was still supple and moisturized. It dawned on me, the dermatologists that were warning against Vaseline, petroleum jelly, whatever, were probably talking about oily skinned people. And the warning only applied to oily skinned people. Not medium, not dry. There's literally nothing healthy or medical that applies to every human. Any sort of health advice should only be taken as a general idea. And you go to your own doctor, your own dermatologist. I don't want to get into this recent thing that's going around and people saying, well, everybody should take this. You know what I mean? Everybody should take this. Let me tell you, I cannot take this. Me personally. Who told me that? My doctor told me that. Not a politician, not a school teacher who has zero knowledge about anything, literally anything. And trust me, they tried to put me in education as an education major because I was taking some classes, and they were like, well, you should major in education. No, I'm not going to major in education. And the only thing that they were talking about was general stuff. I don't think an education degree does anything. It's not child psychology. It's not child health. It's nothing. It's a very general degree on particular subjects. It's not even specific subjects. So no, I'm not beholden to people who call themselves teachers. Why? Because I've taught. I've been in the classroom. And you know who the enemy was? Maybe rightly so, parents. Oh, and the people above me. I don't have any motivation to be beholden to teachers because the entire system is so rigged against people actually learning stuff. unless you go to a private school, unless you go to a prestigious private school dedicated to actually educating people because they think that they're educating the future leaders of the world, right? Well, that's the only time you get an actual education is when they actually have a specific purpose of educating people who will go into the future and lead the country and blah blah and do right. I know a lot of politicians get up and said that the children are our future. No. The only idea that they actually have is that the children will be the fast food workers so that they can get their spiced pumpkin lattes. And this is the impetus of schooling today. So no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take medical advice from a teacher. I'm not going to take medical advice from a teachers union. I'm not going to take medical advice from a politician. The very idea is ridiculous. And I'm not going to take advice from a, what? News reporter. Why? Because I have a license to be a journalist. I'm here to tell you, don't listen to anything that I say and take it as medical advice or legal advice. I'm a third-year law school student. Don't take anything I say as legal advice. In fact, I have to warn you. I must warn you. It would be the height of ethical responsibility for me to warn you to not take my advice on anything legal. To not take my advice on anything health. But I'm making this video to show you that there is another side to the very idea. Is petroleum jelly bad for you? Because that's the only propaganda that you heard for 10, 15 years. Oh, it clogs the skin. What's the word? I'll go ahead and look it up. What's the hell? Clog skin. Non-comedogenic moisturizer. Non-comedogenic moisturizer. And guess what? Vaseline is a non-comedogenic moisturizer. It is specifically designed to not clog the skin. So the dermatologist and the news reporters coming on TV, in the paper, in the magazine, telling you don't use Vaseline because it clogs the skin. Don't use petroleum jelly because it clogs the skin. We're lying. We're categorically lying. Like we're across the board lying, telling you misinformation. Right? This is the age of don't spread misinformation. All the people saying don't use Vaseline because it clogs the skin literally are misinforming you intentionally. Why? Because they want to sell you something else about, whatever it was. It's always, the pitch is always, be fearful of this. We've got a solution to being fearful of that. And I'm telling you that was misinformation. The other dermatologist said Vaseline very much moisturizes your skin and it doesn't clog your skin. Vaseline protects the skin. Now, they did say don't use it every day, all day, ad infinitum, and don't use it on your nether regions. That's what they did say, because your nether regions have openings in them into your inner being, inner body. So it depends on who you ask. And let me be specific, there is nothing medical or health related that applies to every human. Nothing. You can say there's a consensus about, no, that's a lie. As sure as you're living, I can present you with somebody who that doesn't apply to at all. Why? Oh, they're immune. Doesn't apply to them. They're immune. You didn't see that coming. They're immune. Oh, they're susceptible to this. So no, they can't use that. There is nothing on the planet, health-wise or medical-wise, that applies to every human. That's why it's called a medical practice. You practice on people. You practice your ideas on people. The only thing that really applies to everybody is sanitation. Making sure everything is sanitized to reduce infection. That's the only thing that universally applies. And that was the biggest thing to push forward U.S. medicine throughout the history. Washing their hands. It did more for U.S. medicine than anything else invented. Go look that up. Thank you all for watching. Be nice and warm. Bundle up. And use petroleum jelly to protect any exposed skin, especially if you have dry or medium dry skin and you're not susceptible to reacting negatively to petroleum jelly. That should be the responsible way to say something, right? Even if you have dry skin, if you react to petroleum jelly, don't use it. You have to find something else. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm not going to cry. I'm in deep mourning. My cousin and my aunt literally just passed away. And so I took off for this time. My mother just came from a funeral in Texas for my aunt. And we don't know when the funeral for my cousin is going to take place. I want to go, but the family is mad at it's this whole big drama thing. Everything's all of this is not only tragic, but it's also dramatic because of circumstances surrounding it. You know, it would just be something if somebody was just sick and they passed away, but no, it was a whole bunch of stuff. So please be patient with me, especially this year. I had a cousin die on Christmas Day, then my aunt die. And then my other cousin just died the other day. The sister of the first cousin who died in December. So, and she was younger than me, so I'm coming to terms with, I'm a shout out because I'm going to start crying. Thank you all for watching.